Whose company was the human being in before anybody else's company? The company of Allah. And the company so close that not only did Allah speak to us directly, we spoke to Allah directly. You know, when you're in good company, you get influenced. It's natural, right? You can't imagine that you're in the company of Allah and you're not influenced. That can't be. Allah Azza wa Jal impacted every single soul. And that's why Allah says, فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا. The beautiful nature of Allah, the molding of Allah that He molded human beings on. We were in His company, we got molded. Our personalities got molded. By the way, human beings have a glimpse of every attribute of Allah in some way or the other. Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Do we show mercy? Allah is Al-Hakim. Do we have some wisdom? Allah is As-Sami'. Do we like to listen? Allah Azza wa Jalla is Al-Khaliq. He creates everything. Do human beings have a desire to create stuff? Even from childhood, put Legos together. Do we have the desire to create stuff? Every attribute of Allah Azza wa Jalla, in some little glimpse of it, you find it where? Inside Adam, inside the human being. And that's when you understand the phrase of the Prophet ﷺ in several hadith, which is actually mimicking the Bible, but when you study the biblical version, you find it shirki. It's actually a very profound statement. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَلَقَ آدَمَ عَلَى صُورَتِهِ. Allah Azza wa Jalla created Adam in His image, not physical image. In the image of those names and attributes that make Allah Azza wa Jalla beautiful, He made a reflection of them in the human being. Now that human being who was in the company of Allah was put inside a mother, and then he comes out, and he starts growing up. And as he grows up inside this body, he gets preoccupied with this body, but he doesn't lose sight of the fact that there's something deeper inside him. He was in a company, and when you're in the company of Allah, you're certainly going to miss Him. Something's going to be missing in your life. And so as the human being grows, no matter what culture they belong to, all human beings have had a desire for better home. They've had a desire for beauty. They've had a desire for better clothing, perfection. Why do you think you have this urge to move the furniture every few weeks? No, this looks better here. This color goes better there. I want to try this. I want to try that. We're constantly looking for more and more beautiful, aren't we? Do birds do that? Do alligators do that? More and more beautiful? Do monkeys do that? You know, evolution can't even explain the human propensity for art. It can't. That's never existed. Because it's not a necessity for survival. Why do you need art for survival? Why do you need poetry for survival? Why do you need language beyond basic communication? We didn't need more than that. You know? Mothers know the way they talk to their kids. That's enough. That's all you need for like 16 years. It's just the fact that we have beautiful words. We can think in the abstract. We can talk about art, beauty. You know, these things that are inside of us. Why? Because we're constantly seeking perfection, isn't it? In life. That desire to seek perfection, even in the material sense, is actually rooted in the soul that was in the company of perfection. We were in the company of Allah, who is inna Allah jamilun yuhibbu al-jamal. Fal-insan yuhibbu al-jamal. Human beings just look for perfection. And by the way, they think they want to move to a nicer house. They want to get nicer clothes. They want to get a nicer car. They want to look nicer. They want to smell nicer. They want nicer. But does it ever satisfy? No. Because nothing will fill the void of perfection like the company of Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's why when finally the believer gets to go back where he came from. Where did he come from? The company of Allah. He's finally satisfied. And when you're satisfied, you use the word mutma'in. Allah says, Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna irji'i ila rabbiki. The satisfied soul, come back to your master. Why did He say come back? Because you were with Him in the beginning. And now in this final stage of life, the first stage of life and the final stage of life are now meeting with each other because you get to go back to the same Rabb that in whose perfect company you were. Subhanallah. How can you be ungrateful to Allah and you used to be dead and He brought you life inside of your mothers? then He will give you death again. ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ ثُمَّ is لِلتَّرَاخِي. He'll give you a little bit of time and He'll give you death again. ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ. Then He will bring you back to life again. ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Then you will be taken back to Him. May Allah Azza wa Jal return us back to our Master in the most blessed of ways. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayat wa dhikr al-Hakim. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. حياكم الله.